the Thunder won by a score of 149 to 106. And, well, kind of how the guys have alluded to, it wasn't much of a game. They were up 30 in the first half.
I don't know, but it was a great game. I enjoyed it.
Yes, I know they had 33 at the half. 87
after the first quarter, it was
87 to 55.
45-21.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not watch the second half. I was like, you know what, bro?
You missed some real Usman Jang minutes.
Damn.
I seen Shea set the record for plus minus in the playoff game.
51 plus 51.
He had like a 93 true
very
shooting.
interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, who would have thought that the MVP cannot have the highest plus minus in the playoff game? Shout out.
He's stressing.
95 true shooting, I think. He's one of 5 players to have like 30 or 90 plus true shooting.
He was 11 to 13 and 11
in a playoff game. Interesting.
He made all
only missed 2 shots against the Jokic anchored defense.
Man, it's easy to get these off. I'm not gonna lie. You're right. Go ahead, bro.
I agree. It's very easy to get off against the Jokic anchored defense. I agree.
Actually,
very easy.
When's the last time Jokic had a single game box plus minus that was in the negatives?
Oh my god.
He had negative box plus minus?
He -3.
Negative in the Jokic stat?
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay. Who was worse yesterday? Jokic or Tatum?
Jokic.
Tatum was +2.
So let's hold him to best in the world standards.
Let's get him.
Well, we do. I think we do all the
standards.
time up here. I think that's the question. There's no
Okay,
question.
so Swiper, talk to us. What? Why is a top 10 player of all time in your estimation?
Huh?
Playing so horribly. Why does he have more turnovers than assists in this series?
Huh?
Like, is that rare for top 10 players to have bad playoff games?
Is it rare for all-time great passer playmakers to have a negative assist turnover?
Yes, it's happened. It's happened multiple times. Magic did it in finals.
Talk to me.
I think some of this is just. I think that they came out level of physicality and aggressiveness. As Shea said, they played desperate yesterday because they did not want to go down 2-0, and so they came out throwing the first punch. The Nuggets missed all of their open jumpers to start the game, especially with given how OKC was playing. Jokic missed 2 floaters. And then MPJ missed a corner 3, Murray missed an open 3, and then Brown, I think as we talked about all year, missed 2 wide open 3s. And then the score went from, I think it was 3 to 9, and then it went from 9 to 18, and then it went from 13 to 33, I believe. I think it's how the runs went. And so I think OKC just played much better, much more desperate. Porter's having whatever series, like he's not playing well, obviously. I think Russ played well in the first half yesterday. He at least was trying. I think Jokic is getting frustrated for sure. Everybody knows me. I if you were on my Twitter at all, I actually played into it, but I think that the whistle was horrible. But I don't want to elaborate. It was legit defended to be horrible. I think everybody.
How many points did the refs cost you?
Well, I don't know.
I think 43.
No, I think that's the thing. I don't do that. Actually, I don't do that at all. I don't think it's the end of the game that matters. I think when you set the tone, it's very similar to game 2 versus the Wolves. When the referees and the officiating is allows for contact recklessly in the paint like that, but then you get touch fouls on the perimeter, I do think it changes the game. Yeah, I think if you're not allowing for players to establish position like consistently, and then like you're doing this on every possession, I do think it changes like how the game flow goes. But at the end of the day, as Aaron Gordon says, you have to deal with it. Like that's just what it is. Like the player said, you have to deal with it. And so I think they came out desperate in game 2. They knew they needed to win game 2. That game that I thought was going to be game 1 happened in game 2. Come here, I thought they were going to be about 20 points or more. I said 25, I think, in game 1. They just didn't play well yesterday. And I think they're going to have to come out with the level of intensity in game 3 and a level of physicality in game 3 and with the home crowd. And they're going to have to shoot better. Because right now, the way OKC's defending Joker is they're having basically 5 people with a foot in the paint. And it's basically he's going to have to find ways like he did in game 1. He just had 42 and 22, obviously, so he can do it. But he's going to have to find a way to shoot over the top in particular. I think especially like defensively, the Nuggets found solves in the first game. I think also, too, they shot 70%, I think, in the first half from the field and like 50% from 3. I think OKC just had like an incredible game. They had a phenomenal game. Denver had maybe their worst possible game. And then you combine those two things plus the physicality. I think that's why the score was so lopsided. Like I said, with you get it's 13 to 33. I mean, the Nuggets haven't been down like that in the first quarter, like maybe since I can't remember the last time this happened. But I think OKC deserves credit for how they came out. Go ahead.
Well, Swiper, you and I had a conversation about what was going to be the difference in the series to start, and I thought that Oklahoma City capitalizing on Denver's turning the basketball over was going to be the difference. And your two primary ball handlers of the 40 turnovers that you've had in this series, those two guys have had 18 of them. That's almost half your turnovers. They had 11 turnovers yesterday between the both of those guys. They had 8 in game 1. And when you're turning the basketball over like that, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they do a phenomenal job in turning turnovers into points. And I think that Joker and I think that Jamal Murray, which I was very concerned about before the series started, I was very concerned about their ability to take care of the basketball consistently against this Oklahoma City team, and they have not done that. I think that's been the difference in this series.
Well, not in the series. I don't even think the turnovers were the biggest deal yesterday. I think some of this is Murray.
40 turnovers? 40 turnovers,
well,
and they've kind of half of them?
The Murray, no, because see, here's the thing about the Jokic turnovers. Like Jokic, when he's trying to do those entry passes to the corner, or into the paint, I think for him and for them, he's trying is in any way, by any means necessary, to get the ball in the right spot for the sake of the offense. So like those turnovers have happened. I've seen those happen before, and so I think he has to cut down on them, and that means not passing the ball as much. So some of that is like you just have to know who you're playing against and adjust to that. I think that's an actual criticism for Joker. I think some of this is not relying so much on some of those passing.
That is fair.
Murray has just been throwing the ball like to Caruso or to Dort or to whatever. He just has been very undisciplined. Like he's not even trying to initiate like a bucket. He's trying to get the play started and he's throwing the ball out of whack. So some of this is, I think Russ, Murray, Jokic, the 3 primary ball handlers, they all have to take care of the ball. I think Jokic, obviously, if they're going to turn you into this kind of player, then some of that might just be you have to have the over-the-top shooting like you did in game 1, where it just doesn't matter what's in front of you. You have to go score. And if they're going to crowd the paint to the degree they are, you're just going to have to make jumpers. And you're also going to have to force the issue to get to the free throw line. But I said, I think what's frustrating him and what frustrated him yesterday is that he felt like when Jay Will was in the game or Hart, they were putting a level of pressure and physicality into him that he was not allowed to redistribute back to OKC. And I think when that happens to him, then he can get really, when he gets frustrated, when he starts getting offensive fouls, like you saw in the second half, the little tangle up with Lou Dort and all that stuff, that's happened to him before. That if he feels like he's not getting, which I think it's a fair exclamation for yesterday, if he feels like he's not getting the whistle or the calls off the ball that he feels like he should get, then he will 100% get frustrated, and that stuff will happen. I think he does need to clean that up. Aaron Gordon also talked about that yesterday. He told Jokic, you're just going to have to play through it.
Which is quite interesting, Swiper, that you mentioned that, because we actually had a conversation when y'all played against the Lakers, and the question was, is this the way to stifle Joker? Just be more physical with him. And Oklahoma City, for all intents and purposes, they were switching yesterday, and I still did see Lou Dort on him. I did see Alex Caruso on him. However, he was a little more physical because he allowed himself to, I feel like he allowed himself, because of the way the game was officiated, being taken out of the game. Now, the same thing happened when they played against the Lakers. When they got more physical with him, the same exact thing happened where
the regular season?
Yeah, in the regular season when they were picking him up full court. And I feel like they kept them away from the basketball.
Well, no, but that was different though, Chill. That's when they were playing that zone, and it was basically a 1-on-1 with Jokic in the post. And I think Braun and them were pushing.
They weren't just letting them roam around though.
Yeah, but I think that's what
they were doing.
Quarters in that game. They were
keeping the ball away from them.
And that's not what was happening yesterday though, Chill. They were actively, when they ran those little double drags underneath the basket, or when Jokic was getting cross action with Aaron Gordon, or when Jokic was trying to get solidified post position at all. Sure. Like they were doing whatever they can to try to bump him off of his spot. And then when he actually got to the post, to push him out, like 2 hands in the back. And if you know Jokic, like Jokic at some point in time, again, if I'm not allowed to be physical with you to the same degree, that's when he starts to do what he did. But also too, I think some of this, the game got so out of whack so quickly that I think everything came off the rails for everybody on the roster. And I think Jokic was probably at the top of that in terms of, all right, like the game's out of place. They're being super physical. I can't seem to respond to this. I think Mark Dagnall challenged the call that Jokic had at the rim when he got hit by Chet, and then they ended up they won the call there, and then and so it's just across the board. I think Jokic has to deal in game 3. I think the mental toughness for the Nuggets is going to be at another place in game 3. I truly believe that if that is the kind of physicality you're going to allow,
right,
and you're going to go back to Denver with that, I think that it's gonna come out. There's gonna be a level of intensity, and they're probably gonna have to get control of the whistle quickly.
I think the whistle's gonna be different.
Out of hand.
I do think the whistle's gonna be different on your home floor. However, I do think that the Oklahoma City Thunder, because Joker is your primary ball handler and he's the guy who facilitates the offense runs through him. I'm sorry, Jamal Murray is your primary ball handler and the offense runs through him. The fact that Oklahoma City, when he gets into the paint, because I don't think pushing him off the box is that big of a deal, because he gets pushed off the box by other guys, but he's still able to play through that, even with the whistle not going his way. What I saw last night was I saw a lot of show and go from Oklahoma City. I saw when Joker's getting downhill, when guys like Shea or a guy like Lou Dort is showing like he's gonna step up and help on defense, but then get back to his guy. And I thought the same thing happened in the paint with guys like Hartenstein, where they would show and then get back to their guy, which caused steals and cause deflections, because Joker is such a pass heavy big. Joker is not he's more of a pass heavy big than he's a score guy. He passes to create scores, right? For himself in particular. So I do think that the whistle is going to be different in Denver, but I'm not gonna just give Joker leeway on the fact that because it was physical, he's not going to turn the basketball.
I don't think that was physical though, Chill.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at PrizePicks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With PrizePicks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your PrizePicks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download PrizePicks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with PrizePicks. So what are you waiting for? Download PrizePicks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. PrizePicks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
What I'm saying is, I think it was overtly. This is me. And this seems to be, there are other people that share this opinion as well. Obviously, like there's some media members. There are some people that, obviously Patrick Beverley and all that stuff. I think yesterday was beyond just physical, because the Nuggets, they are the paint scoring team in the league. They led the NBA in paint points. Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Brown, Russ, they play physical. But I think the issue is the NBA, we talked about this before, the way that you're allowed to, I think, be physical inside the paint is not the same way you're allowed to be physical on the perimeter. And I think because OKC is so perimeter laden, like when SGA was getting touch foul, just like Jokic got a, for instance, had a shot where he got bumped on it and then missed, but then the next possession, SGA gets bumped on a similar possession and then falls and gets a foul call. And I think for the Nuggets, they're trying to figure out, like, how do I initiate contact without getting some of these whistles on my end? And then on the other end, I think OKC was shooting crazy and the Nuggets were missing all of their outside shots. Like I said, I think it was a combination of nobody played well enough, starting with Jokic, then Murray, then Brown, and then Porter. I think Russ started well, but second half, doesn't matter. They were down 40 anyway. And I think they also, on the other end, they were so discombobulated.
Why are we talking about refs?
Because they asked me what I thought about happening in the game yesterday, and so I'm giving you a full.
So that's really what you thought happened in the game yesterday. You didn't.
It's the same.
You talked about refs after game 2 of Lakers Timberwolves.
When the Lakers Timberwolves game happens, you and King Papers were talking about refs.
Yeah, I think this is interesting, Pen, that you
We
decided
talked
not
about
to hear
refs even
anything
in a
else
win.
I said. What? But Pen,
What cares? You were talking about.
What did that add to the conversation just now? Pen, I literally just said. Let me say it again, so your headphones are broken. The OKC Thunder outplayed Denver. They came and played desperate. They outshot Denver. Denver shot like trash. And the Nuggets didn't play good enough, starting with Jokic. And what got them discombobulated was the officiating. That's 6 different points, and you missed 5 of them. So were you off screen watching a movie? Like, did you not hear any of the other stuff that I said?
Sure.
You better change your energy real
There's
fast.
No changing
man.
energy. I have been like this whole time. I feel like I've given you a very very good.
No,
analysis of what
I think
thought happened yesterday.
I think
And
what
you
you want to
missed 5
do
of
is
them
you want to
because
come
you
up
heard
here
refereeing.
and you want to say that this entire cascading, chain of events, which led to the Denver Nuggets being on the other end of a potentially 50 to 60 point blowout, was all created because, oh my God, they weren't calling the fouls that were supposed to be
Is that
called
what
on
I said,
Jokic,
Penn?
and that's just complete bullshit.
Is that what I said, Penn?
Yes, you said Jokic got frustrated.
I said that was a part of
And
what
that's
happened
why he
yesterday.
was apparently doing kung fu with Jay Will in the second half, right? Because he got frustrated because they were fouling him and they
Jay
weren't
Will's been
calling
really
it, and then
impressive
he got
lately.
discombobulated, and this is the strategy. Come on, man. Like, you had the Denver Nuggets get out executed from the jump. They got out executed. It felt like they were playing 6-on-5 consistently. You did have a couple of good bench performances that you can't always count on, which is Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson. Let's not even talk about that. No,
Sure.
they played well. They played
Yeah.
reasonably well. I
Sure.
think there's a talent deficit between this lineup, but you wouldn't know that because you were all up there being, I told you so. I told you so. Don't get yourself hurt. Man, the minute I saw you victory lap after winning game 1, that was you, right? That was you on Twitter, right? That was you,
So
right?
you followed me on Twitter and you didn't like the video?
So
I thought it was really weird energy for a team
Why was
that
it weird
barely won
energy?
by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Right
So
there.
does it matter how
barely
much
won
you
that
win by?
game, and you were victory lapping like you were the better team. You were not
Swiper,
the better
did y'all
team.
punt that game
Wait,
Be
wait a minute,
yesterday?
hold
humble
on,
in
wait a minute.
victory is what I'm saying, Swiper. Be humble in victory.
What is wrong
game
about
1.
me expressing how I feel about how they won?
Nothing's wrong with that. My question to you, Swiper, is
what
Be
are you yapping
who
about?
you want to be. I'm just saying,
Well,
when
what are you complaining about?
you are the worst team, I don't expect that level of energy.
Why?
I don't.
No, hold on. Let Penn get this point off. Why?
Because you barely won that game, bro. You were losing for 47 minutes. In fact, throughout this series,
Did they win the game?
they did win.
did
So
they
shut up
win
then.
or did
So they won. So they won. I was happy about how they won. I enjoyed the win. So you're saying that I cannot in any circumstance, well, unless they win the series or win the title, don't be happy. Don't express joy. That what you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
Then, Penn, what are you
I'm
policing?
saying you
What
could
are
be
you
happy.
trying to
You could be
police right
happy
now?
and you could be happy in victory without coming off like I told you so.
Why? But that's my energy, Penn. You can be your own lame man if you want to be. I'm gonna be that way. That's me. So
Well,
I
then
think
don't-
you
Sounds
trying
like he
to
doesn't.
police how I'm
Sounds like he
responding.
doesn't appreciate
That's
your
crazy.
smug attitude. That's what it
That's
sounds
cool.
like.
Honestly,
That's cool.
Sounds like he doesn't
appreciate my
appreciate your
attitude
smug
after
and I
a
attitude.
don't
win.
appreciate how you make it almost impossible to
That's what it
root for
sounds
this
like.
team. That's what it.
Why?
That's what I
Because
don't-
I'm from Denver, Penn. I'm from Denver. That's sure different. That dude got a New York Knicks city on right now. He's from New York. I'm from Denver. You ain't from where I'm from. We not from the same city, dog. You from Toronto. You glaze Scotty Barnes whenever you can, but you from Toronto. You dead teller Vince Carter had one of the 50 best seasons ever because you from Toronto. I'm from 303-720-970 Park Hill, 23rd and Holly. I'm from Denver. Grew up in Denver. I'm always going to be Denver.
Ali.
Broncos,
From the
LA,
hill,
Rockies,
nigga.
Nuggets. My
Ali.
whole life. It's never going to change. So you trying to police me because I'm from my city? Can I put my city on my back? On PC, on lockdown, wherever I am?
Put
Half your players
You
are
not
unplayable.
gonna police me.
What am I
How
doing?
I'm
Jokic
responding.
crazy.
Ken,
What are you doing?
Whenever the
What you're
Raptors,
saying.
whenever the
That's not
Raptors
where
win a
Jokic is from,
playoff
huh?
game, whenever they win a playoff game, you can celebrate however you want. You want to be monotonous? I literally get up here every day and stand with my city. So if you don't want to do that, that's on
Christian
you.
Brown
you
is
do that.
unplayable.
That's it. That's
Michael
cool.
Porter is unplayable.
In
Calvin
game
Lewis
3,
is
that's the thing. That's the thing, Penn. Get
I
a new
can't
bit.
believe we
Get a
fired
new
this
bit.
coach.
Penn. I
Come
told
on,
you,
man.
the days of you trying to get licks off my name is not going to happen no more. Come up with your own point. If you don't like the way I celebrate, that's on you. But celebrate your own way. I said that after game 1, and that's cool. But if they lose the series,
So
guess
keep
what?
the energy.
Great job, OKC.
Keep
Great
the
job.
same
You
energy.
did a
Don't
phenomenal
come
job.
up here and start
OKC
talking about,
won
oh my
yesterday.
God, they were
Great
fouling
job.
Jokic too
I
much, and he
literally
got all
told you
off
6
tilt.
reasons, and you listened to one of them, Penn.
Because
That's
I know
on
your
you.
real reason.
Okay, now you Jordan. Now you and Jordan are in my brain. I got y'all my conscience. Hey, wait, hold on, Ox. Is this Jamie Foxx? I'm your conscience speaking. Is this what this is? You doing this bit
Yes,
again?
I am
You don't
your
know
conscience.
me, Penn. We've never been in the same room before. I've never seen you in real life. You are not in my brain. If they win again game 3, I'm gonna be just as loud. If they lose again in game 4 or game 3, I'm gonna tell you they earned their win. They did what they did. They outplayed the Denver Nuggets. It's that simple. There's no losing for me. I want them to win this series. I picked them to win the series. If they lose, they lose. It's that simple. I don't even know why we're doing this. So you could have stuck it on basketball. But you mad about a video I put up on Twitter. You mad about a video I put up on Twitter.
Hold on.
You watching me.
You're not just
Hey, can one of y'all send me that video
on Twitter?
I like to see it.
Were you putting on for Denver when you picked them to lose in round 1?
I thought that the Clippers were the better team, and I gave you an impartial analysis, and then you still didn't like it. So what? There's no winning.
I have a problem with your analysis.
Either way, I'm going to
confusing me with Jordan.
A certain audience. And so the fact of the matter is, I literally said OKC outplayed Denver yesterday. They earned their victory. But when this dude, respect to you, comes up here with a New York Knicks jacket on, fronting for his city, Penn shutting up because he ain't got nothing to say. But as soon as I get on here doing the damn same thing, you got something to say? That's weird energy from you. It's weird because I'm celebrating. Come on, Penn. Watch out, bro. That's what I'm saying.
All right,
just talk about the game, bro. Goodness gracious.
Jay, I want to hear your takes from this Nuggets and Thunder game and just the series in general. How you feel about this series?
Well, I agree with my man Swipe, but I think that early on you could see Jokic get frustrated when he was getting pushed off of his spots. And I think the physicality did play a huge part in the loss. But I also agree with Penn that the execution for the Thunder was just so much better. Like it was head and shoulders better the way that they were able to get to their spots, and they were just knocking down shots. Like that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. They were just knocking down everything. It felt like they just could not miss. And then the turnovers killed them, like Joe said. Also, the turnovers were just egregious. And I think that's the main reason that they lost was the turnovers were just insurmountable. Once we have that many turnovers, it's damn near impossible to win a game.
And I know that you guys aren't fans of punting games, but did the Nuggets punt that game last night?
I mean, they didn't come out with the energy they needed.
No, they just go bent over. That's why.
That's what I think, Mars. I think they got stomped.
Yeah.
I just think I don't think that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ron. So for the viewers,
Hold on, chill.
For the viewers, because Ron wants to make this nasty.
No,
yeah,
I don't.
They 100% got bent over. Yes, they did. Now, yes, they 100% got bent over. No dinner, no drinks, no conversation, none of that. Bent right over. Yes, they did, and smashed. That happened. Yes, sir. That 100% happened. 100% happened. And by the way, Ox, they got thrown out too. And I'm not walking you to your car, and I'm not getting you Uber. Get out. Get out. That's what happened last night.
I agree.
I'm not calling you a cab. Figure out how to get home. Figure out how to get home.
Does anybody else want to speak on this game? John, Ox, Morris?
No, I don't. Yeah, I told you. I told you.
What'd you tell us, Ben?
I told you Jokic was going to have a bad game. I didn't estimate it was going to be this bad. I told you they have an answer for Jokic. I told you this team is better at stopping Jokic than pretty much any team in the league. And I told you that the OKC Thunder are the damn best team. They are the better team. They are a considerably better team. There's a reason I've been picking them to win a championship for the last 6 months. There's a reason I came up here 5 months ago telling you that SGA was having an all-time season up there with the Currys and the Kobe's of the world. It's time you respect this damn team.
So we're not going to do this Kobe and Curry thing again.
Everybody's been.
We just can't. I feel you, Pin, because you're right. You have been pushing this, but the Kobe Curry thing, I'm not doing that. It's just not at all. Not at all. These playoffs, maybe last night, but the other 4 games, no sir, no
so
sir.
When we start to talk about the all-time greats and we start comparing them to other all-time greats, for example, Penn, at what timeline do you start to look at a guy and go, he is this good, or we should start talking about him? Or he can be that good, because it sounds like you're trying to put him in Bryant conversations now, and I'm not doing that.
Been putting him in Bryant conversations for like the last 7 months. Cool.
Been trying to do this.
Look,
unwarranted.
Cool. What I'll say is this: he's 26 years old. He's shown me a pattern of getting better. I've been watching this. I've been watching SGA, and I have friends who've watched this kid play. Who have I call him a kid because he's like he's 10 years younger than me, but I have friends who have been playing with this guy since he was 12 years old up here, right? This kid has gotten better and better and better every single year. He's 26 years old. And guess what? He's going to get better again next year. And this year, he just put up a guard season that rivals pretty much all but 1 or 2 guards in league history. It's up there. It may not be up there with the best Jordan year. It may not be up there with the best Kawhi year. It may not be up there with the best LeBron year. But say for those 3 players, maybe one Steph Curry season, maybe a couple of James Harden seasons, one Tracy McGrady season, it's right there.
So to answer your question, Penn,
That's the
add on
season,
to your
though.
point,
That's
so-
the
Just gonna ignore that Kawhi was the one who got put next to MJ and LeBron and no one else.
Yes, we're gonna.
No, I'm fine with that.
I
I know you're fine with that. I know you're fine
Kawhi
with that.
16 was a demon. Okay,
So to your point, Penn. So 35-5 this year on almost 2 steals. That's Jordan and Dwayne Wade, right? And what also he's done with the 35-5 and 2 steals, Jordan, Curry, and Harden, they all won the league MVP.
Mhm.
Here's the difference. The difference is that those guys, there's a level of consistency that we've seen from them. Now that we want to put SGA in those conversations. Now, I'm not sure that I'm there yet when it comes to him. That's not
Based on
saying
He's not there on the other side of the ball either. Yeah, he's an exceptional defender.
He
not
better than
connected.
Steph. He better than Steph.
Oh well, yeah, Steph, sure.
He's a really good
Kawhi,
defender.
Kobe, Jordan, all them. You can be a good defender, and no matter how many times you rub your eyeballs, he's not going to be on the level of them other dudes you was talking about. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
What is he not
I'm not-
doing
yeah,
well
I'm
enough?
not-
for you defensively?
Now,
I'm not going to speak on one of those names. I'll just. All right.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, he's not the level of defensive demon that them other dudes were. Penn, you can acknowledge that, right? And I don't even want to get into this too much because I don't want to knock SGA. SGA is
I don't need the ops. I don't
SGA is
Yeah, he's the MVP.
Yes,
Yeah, he's the
yes,
MVP.
yes.
he's the MVP, and he's
I wanna
worthy
say
of the
that.
MVP. He deserves the MVP. He's
So
an
consider-
amazing
consider-
basketball
consider
player.
what
He's
you're
a
saying.
great basketball player. I'm just not gonna go that far with you, Pin. But you don't need my support in this. You know what I'm saying? You got it.
But
You
I
know
mean,
what I'm saying? That's fine.
consider the mathematics on this, right? I'm sorry to
I
talk
will.
about this, but you know, the logic has to be correct, right? We are putting some of us up here have put Nikola Jokic in top 10 conversations. This
One
indisputably
person.
is the best season of Nikola Jokic's life.
Right.
Can we agree on that? It is. This other player who you're not willing to put in conversations as an all-time great is having a season apparently that's so good that he's going to beat that player out for MVP. Make
Yeah,
it
but
make
that's
sense.
his argument.
Because the
That's
team
not-
wins,
I don't
though.
think-
Make it make
I don't
sense.
think he's top- I don't think he's top
Ox
10
thinks
because
Jokic
of
isn't
what
better
he
than
did.
Yeah,
Chris
most
Webber,
of us
so-
voted Jokic MVP up here.
Yeah, so Ox doesn't think Jokic is better than Chris Webber. So let's.
You
make
know,
that
you didn't have to
abundantly
bring Chris
clear.
Webber in this. Man.
So
That's
if
fine.
he thinks Jokic is better than Shea, and he thinks Jokic isn't better than Chris Webber, he damn sure doesn't think Shea is better than Kobe Bryant. Just logically speaking, if we're going, let's do the mathematics.
I think we need to stop discounting the present. That's all I'm
I
gonna say.
really don't want to hear any Kobe disrespect this morning. I really don't. I can't.
I don't
I
want
don't-
to. I don't think
We're not-
It's
we're
not,
gonna-
it's not about disrespect.
In
In fact, Shea is one player that modeled his entire game after Kobe and D Wade. In fact, Shea is
Holy-
on record saying that Kobe Bean Bryant is a better player than LeBron James and Michael Jordan. He's on record saying that. He might be
What
one
does
of the
that
very few
mean?
people.
What does that mean?
If anyone is gonna be crowned, it might as well be the biggest Kobe fan in the NBA.
Is he the biggest Kobe fan in the
Bro,
NBA? How do you
bro,
measure
please,
that?
bro.
This is what they tried to do for
Please,
Jason
bro.
Tatum.
I don't know another NBA player that's put Kobe Bryant above Michael Jordan and LeBron
Jason
James.
It's the
Tatum
exact
modeled
same.
the game.
No,
My
first
bad,
it was
my bad.
Devin Booker.
My bad.
They tried to do this for Devin Booker.
This a
Then
bad
they tried to do it for
day for
Jason
Tatum.
Tatum.
My bad. My
And now
bad.
it's Shea.
My bad.
They even tried to throw D
Tatum
Mitch in
is
there a little
definitely
bit.
My bad.
This is-
Tatum
this-
definitely
Got
is
more
the
to waste
biggest fan.
stuff,
My
but
bad.
yeah.
This is the next Michael Jordan logic, because when you get to that logic, then it gets real tricky, and you don't want to get yourself in trouble with that.
But we already acknowledged he didn't have a good first round series. And I think this is where the conversation has gone after yesterday. When we thought he got outplayed in game 1 and he didn't play well. in the
One
first
game
round.
sample size. I'm with you on this one.
Hey, new
I can't-
information.
I
New
can't
information. You
accept
can't say new information.
Oh yeah, no. Technically, he's one of 3 games away from being put in best in the world talks. So
Hey man,
Well,
listen,
let's get those other two
To
games
be
first.
fair, he was really good in game 4 against the Grizzlies. He was really good in that game.
right, and what else have we seen from Shea in the playoffs?
what
Like,
have
this
we
is
seen?
the- What else have we seen? Like last year, was Shea bad in the playoffs?
He was good in the second round.
Shea was great against Dallas, and he was mid against New Orleans.
Yeah, I thought he was okay against New Orleans. Sure, yeah.
Shay's
dropped
only
my
really
rating.
had one great series in his
Yeah, he's
career.
only had one great series in his career,
His
And that-
only
and-
great
and
series
that-
was against Dallas.
against Dallas.
and they
Every
lost.
other series he hasn't been
That's
great.
against Dallas.
And they
So
lost.
now,
He's
so
in the
who-
middle of a great
I would
series
say
right
that
now.
Josh Hart might be outperforming him again, Morris.
Hey,
Two
you say about
times.
OG. You say about OG.
I agree with that. Hey,
No,
Hey.
OG is definitely outplaying him. That's not a question.
But no, yeah, Shay's only
he
had
is
one
not
great series.
outplaying SGA. That is not going on.
I think
You
that's
know
fair
he
to
isn't.
say. Shay's only had one series where he's.
I think Jason Tatum would disagree with you.
So on the defensive end, I'll give you that logic. Don't leave out that your man did miss 7 to 9 shots last night. Don't leave that part out. That's very important to mention that.
Impacted the game in other ways.
Okay,
chill.
now, okay.
And they ruined it when they said his step back three didn't count because it was after the shot clock. That's what killed his rhythm.
Chill. I'm here to let you know.
Thank you, Mars. Thank you,
We don't
Mars.
care.
Exactly. He started 1 for 1, then they killed the vibe. And then
We don't care.
Thank you, Mars. It's a mental
He
game.
really would have been like 10 for 12 for real, but you know they killed the vibe. So
I like this guy.
The question that I
I
have
don't.
is, when you get completely demoralized, not demoralized ain't the word I'm looking for. When you get smoked like they got smoked, okay, does Denver just take this game and just throw it away, or do they go back home knowing that we have a fight on our hands? Because you can. I've never bought into the logic. If you lose by 20 or if you lose by 1, it's still 1-1. When you lose by almost 50, that's impactful. When you get smoked by almost 50, there's a level of concern that you have to have as a team when you get blown out like that.
But doesn't it matter why you lost by 50? Now, if you lost by 50 because you didn't show up, you just completely couldn't make a shot, the refs were against you and all that stuff, I think maybe you could toss it away.
They didn't.
But if you lost by 50 or damn near 50 because the other team looked or felt like they had 7 guys out there and you just couldn't move with them, and they just dialed up to an intensity that you could not match.
They did miss all their shots. That was the whole first quarter.
Be that as it may, Swiper. What Penn is about to do is set this team up to get their ass kicked again. Every game is a different day. What happened in game 1, we move past that. Let's play game 2. What happened in game 2? I don't give a shit if we lost by 300 or 3. We got game 3 to play. I don't care about this game any longer. We don't have you got to shoot the ball and move on. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in the playoffs. You got to be a game chucker. You know what I'm saying? That game we shot it. Did we make it? Cool. Did we miss it? I don't give a shit. Game 3, let's go.
Yo,
nobody
cares about
Jordan minutes yesterday, man. Like the game doesn't mean anything. Like DeAndre Jordan was playing in the second quarter.
Why doesn't it mean anything? I'm saying
DeAndre Jordan was playing in the second quarter.
Okay, look, but I'm gonna say this though.
We against the Clippers too, though.
We can look
Yeah,
at game 1.
That was the DeAndre Jordan series. This is not a DeAndre Jordan series. That's the reason he ain't playing game 1.
Mark, is he gonna play game 3?
Not if the game is close.
This series has been 90.
They're gonna go to Aaron Gordon. They're gonna go to Aaron Gordon. And
so far we have seen
game 1.
We
They
have
went to
seen
DeAndre Jordan yesterday because the game was over.
Okay, we have seen 96 minutes in this series. 96. Two games,
I ain't
96
seen 96.
minutes.
I've seen like 84, but yeah.
Okay. For about 87 of those minutes, OKC's been up.
It's not the Lakers series last year.
That's what I'm saying.
It sounds a little bit
Are
like
you
the same
going to
logic
win the
that we're
game?
using with the Knicks and the Celtics.
Are you going to win the game?
Swipe it though. I get what
I
you're
hear
saying.
you, but like it's game, bro. It's 1-1. They're going back to Denver. The
Does
Nuggets
it
have put up.
feel like 1-1?
We talking about how we feel.
I'm not
Does
talking
it
about
feel
that.
like 1-1?
I'm not talking about that.
You
Morris,
watch
I'm
those
talking
two
about
games. You feel
you
like,
know what
oh, I guess it could go either way.
I'm not doing that,
That's how
Morris.
you feel?
Hold on, right quick, because I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is, you look at game 2 and it wasn't close. They beat the brakes off of them boys. You look at game 1. What were they? They were up 20 at one point.
14 in the fourth quarter.
14. Okay, but they was really taking care of them. They was taking care of business.
And they came back and won.
They did. I'm not discounting that. What I'm saying is, I can just look at one team and the firepower that they have, and I can look at this other team, and I'm just like, y'all don't got enough.
OKC has the better team.
Y'all don't got close to enough.
They have the better team.
Look, and that's the point I'm
Boston
making.
also has the better team.
What I'm saying
They were up
is,
20 in both of those games.
based on what I've seen both games,
Pick Denver in this series.
I don't have the Nuggets coming close to winning any of these other games. I just don't.
It's over in 5?
Yes. That's what I believe.
So you don't
That's
think
what I
Denver
think.
wins another game in the series,
No.
Ron?
I know we're going back to Denver.
Did you have OKC in 5 before the series?
Yeah.
I know you've been.
I'll give Denver one more game. I got OKC in 6.
I don't even know if I got that.
I got Denver in 5, but people not.
Jokic will get him one game. I think Jokic can get him one game.
He got him one game.
I think he'll give him like a 45, 50-point game.
We got another Knicks fan.
Wow.
Big meal.
These New
Big
York
meal.
Knicks fans are just
Talk to him.
whoa.
Talk to him.
2-0.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. swings into the plane and try and wait.